afternoon, everyone. CampusCare EdTalks is an exclusive platform where top educators from India or abroad come on board and express their viewpoints on burning topics related to education. Today is a special day because one of the prolific speakers is joining us today to share with us her immense knowledge. She is a visionary, dynamic, and prolific educator, leading principal of Birla Open Minds International School, Indore. Please allow me to introduce Miss Meenakshi Chatterjee.
Hi
Welcome,
everyone.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome on board. Today, she will be discussing bilingual medium, an effective medium of learning. Hello, ma'am. So good to have you here. Miss Meenakshi Chatterjee, thank you so much for taking out your precious time.
Thank you very much, Mehak, and thank you the entire team.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
view.
So, we'll be starting with the questions now, okay?
Yes,
So,
definitely.
firstly, what do you understand by bilingual medium? What are the common and the basic characteristics of a bilingual education program?
A bilingual educational program is an educational program wherein we are using two languages. Now, it may be very common in India because we all are vernacular and we do study medium of instruction in a large number of schools is English. So, wherein we are using basically bilingual education, there are definitely many merits as well as demerits of bilingual education. Bilingual education can happen in the native language and some other language, which could be foreign or which could be somewhere from within the country as well.
Okay.
So, any two forms of language used for education is the bilingual form of education.
Okay. Moving forward, how does bilingualism influence a human being's intellectual and mental growth?
Okay. Number one is your question tells me that you have already understood that the bilingual is a better form of education. So it is going to influence in further mental growth is what you are asking. Yes, bilingual helps. Language is a skill. And the more skills we have, the more advantageous is our position. Now, how it helps in cognitive development or intellectual development is that your mind learns multitasking, mind learns to take instructions which is given in two languages. Mind also learns to be alert and take up from the environment. Mind learns problem solving skills as well. So these are all things which would further over the years help a student into the intellectual growth.
Wonderfully explained. Moving forward, what are the benefits of knowing two languages? How does knowing two languages benefits one?
Immensely. See, knowing two languages would immensely benefit an individual. Obviously, it would depend upon the need of the individual. Uh, Here, if we talk about our own country, India, we have languages spoken, different languages spoken in different states. So, how would our student connect? We do not know the future. So, as one, you have already asked the questions, bilingual education will definitely help in the cognitive development or intellectual growth of the student. Bilingual education would take a student forward into better grades because the understanding of the student is definitely improving as he is learning two languages and his understanding becomes better. Of course, his language proficiency over both the languages would be higher. Um, then a student does not know what would be the medium of higher education. Whether he would be able to step out of his village, of his town, of his state, as well as whether he will be joining some other country. So it is definitely a beneficial part for a higher education. Then, as I said, language is a skill. The more skills we learn, the better for us. Uh, See, bilingual education also promotes equality. It would not be correct that only, speakers of a certain language are encouraged. We should have a classroom wherein even the native speakers are encouraged. So it would promote equality. Bilingual language would also help narrow the educational gap of understanding, because when we talk about education, we are not only talking about language education, but we are talking about education as a whole. There is a lot of technicalities that a student needs to understand, which definitely would be better when we have teachers who are bilingual and students are also bilingual. Moving forward, sometimes if language is a barrier in for a student, progressing becomes difficult. To make everybody participate, one language should not be a barrier in the classroom. It should be a free flow, whichever language one chooses. Further, bilingual education would give more career growth. It enhances an individual to be a global citizens in the true sense. Children are introduced to different languages, different cultures, a different kind of setup, different environment. These all things are, going to help a student, because ultimately we are staying in a global village, and distance earlier used to be a major a major factor wherein people hardly came out of their own villages or towns. But now world is the place, and one can go and work anywhere, go for higher education anywhere. So bilingual a person would have better understanding of different people with different needs, different languages, and different culture.
Excellent. Let's proceed. Do you think bilingual medium helps us to connect to the world better? If yes, explain how.
Well, it definitely helps us to connect with the world better. Talk about a classroom scenario, and suppose we are only introducing English, there are children who do not know English is not their native language. So how would the teacher, connect with that student? Naturally, we cannot leave the student behind. So definitely bilingual language is the form of education which we will have to go forward to with. Understanding becomes better, connecting with the student or students' connection with the teachers would definitely help. Students can connect, peer group can connect with each other and be strength to each other. Like, for example, there are some native speakers in the classroom, and then there are some, say, English speakers or Hindi speakers, another language. So, interaction with the children will become healthy. Children will learn from each other and support each other. So, bilingual environment for education is a very supportive environment wherein each one brings the best that he can to the class.
Very well. Lastly, it is often said that bilingual education helps a person in both multitasking and problem solving. Do you agree? Please share your opinion on this.
Yes, I certainly agree, because see, when a person is proficient in at least two languages, the person's mind automatically, understands how is a certain expression in one language vis-a-vis the same expression in another language. Because of it, the mind is continuously doing multitask without knowing that the mind is doing any form of task. So, because the mind is going through such tasks, the mind becomes more proficient in multitasking in different fields. When the individual would want to do two different things, multitasking becomes easier because one of the tasks goes at the forefront and the other goes, at the background. And the student will be, or the one who has learned, the individual will be able to shift attention to where is it, whichever is required and whenever it is required. So I think multitasking, yes, it definitely improves. For problem solving improves. Connection with the larger number of people definitely increases. And also there is an understanding that people are different. Their expressions are different. Diversity improves. So does tolerance. So a lot of positive points towards there.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah,
Most
thank you for
welcome.
watching today's EdTalk. If you haven't subscribed, please do so to catch such amazing content.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
ma'am.